Hi students, how are you? So we were discussing about the causes of diseases. There will be one immediate cause and there will be some contributory causes. And again we saw that immediate causes belong to two distinct types. Diseases that are caused by some microorganisms and the diseases that are not caused by microorganisms. And the diseases that are caused by microorganisms will spread from one person to another, and that type of diseases are called infectious diseases. And the ways in which the disease spread from one person to another and the ways in which they can be treated and prevented, it will be different for different diseases. So the treatment would depend on whether the immediate causes are infectious or non-infectious causes. So today now we can study about infectious diseases. And these infectious diseases are caused by microorganisms. Microorganisms means minute organisms that we cannot see with our naked eye. We can observe them through only a microscope. So these microorganisms belong to a wide range of categories. So they are classified as viruses, then bacteria, fungi, protozoa, etc. Okay. And again, some diseases are caused by multicellular organisms such as worms also. So some diseases are caused by some worms also. They are multicellular. So worms we can, some worms we can see with our naked eye also. So in microorganisms are classified as viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa and worms. Okay. So example of diseases that are caused by viruses are common cold. Common cold is caused by virus, influenza. Then serious diseases like AIDS are caused by virus called HIV virus. And nowadays every day you are hearing about COVID-19 and it is caused by a coronavirus, or dengue fever. It is also caused by a virus, and that virus is carried by Aedes mosquitoes. Okay. Then some diseases caused by bacteria are typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis or TB. All these are caused by bacteria. Then fungi usually causes skin infections, itching on the skin and all. So skin infections are caused by fungi. And protozoans also causes so many diseases. One protozoan causes malaria. Malaria is caused by a protozoa called Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium vivax. And this is carried by female Anopheles mosquito. Okay. Then another disease called Kala Asar, or it is also called as black fever or leishmaniasis. That disease is caused by another protozoa called leishmania. So this is caused by another protozoa called leishmania. So you study some examples for diseases that are caused by viruses. So you can write what? AIDS, common cold, then what? Dengue fever, COVID-19, all these bacteria causes typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, etc. is caused by bacteria. Then skin infections are caused by fungi. Okay, so you study one or two examples for diseases that are caused by these microorganisms. Then worms. The next group is worms. So worms are multicellular, and you know the disease elephantiasis or filariasis. So the disease elephantiasis, or it is also called as filariasis, and it is caused by a worm called filarial worm, or the scientific name of filarial worm is Wuchereria bancrofti. So this is caused by filarial worm. Okay, and it is carried by mosquito. Usually Culex mosquito carries this filarial worm. And in our intestine also there are so many different types of worms are there. They are living as parasites. Parasites means they are organisms that live in and feed food from a living host. So there are a variety of parasitic worms that can take up residence in human beings. And some flatworms, some kind of roundworms, all these are living in our stomach and intestine. For example, tapeworm. You can see tapeworm is living in our intestine. Hookworm, pinworm, flukes, all these are living as parasites in our body. Okay, so now why we are classifying them in different groups like viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa and all. So all microorganisms, all are microorganisms or microbes. But we are classifying them in different groups. For what we are classifying them in different groups? The answer is that these categories are important factors in deciding what kind of treatment to use. So if it is a virus, we want to give some other treatment. If it is a bacteria, treatment will be different. So by identifying it belong to which category, we can give different treatments also. Okay. Before studying about the treatments given to the different groups, we can look that there is one table, one box in your textbook. So we can look what is written inside this box. So it is written about peptic ulcers and the Nobel Prize. So peptic ulcer means it is a disease that causes acidity and related pain and bleeding in our stomach and intestine. So in older days it was said that for many years everybody thought that this peptic ulcer is caused due to some lifestyle reason. So it is due to some lifestyle. So they thought that a stressful life led to a lot of acid secretions in the stomach, and due to this acid secretion peptic ulcer was caused due to this acid secretion, and a lot of acids were secreted due to a stressful life. So they thought that this disease is caused by or this disease is a lifestyle disease. But the two Australians made a discovery. They found that a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori. So a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori was responsible for peptic ulcers. So how they found that? Robin Warren, when he observed, he saw a small curved bacteria in the lower part of the stomach in many patients. And he understood that some signs of inflammation were always present around these bacteria also. So he understood that this ulcer is caused due to this bacteria. And Barry Marshall, another scientist, he was interested in Warren's findings, and he cultured some bacteria and find out some treatment against this bacteria. And both these persons, they found that the patients could be cured of peptic ulcer only when the bacteria were killed off from the stomach. and not by changing the lifestyle. Even if they change lifestyle, they will have to suffer the peptic ulcer. That disease will be cured only by killing the bacteria. So now peptic ulcer is no longer a chronic disease, but a disease that can be cured by a short period of treatment with some antibiotics. So we can thank them. Otherwise, people will have been suffering from the same disease now also. So for this achievement, Marshall and Warren received the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine in 2005. Okay. So in next today we study about the microorganisms and their categories. So they are classified in different groups for giving different treatment. Treatment for one group is different from the treatment for another group. So in next class we can study the treatment that we can give against bacteria or some other categories also. Okay. Bye.